Hey everybody, I'm Howard, and this is Otter's Retirement Corner. So I happened to stumble upon this interview. It was on NPR radio, where they were talking about Trump's promise to eliminate income taxes on Social Security. And the woman doing the interview, bless her heart, I mean, she was just so serious about making sure everyone understood the program. And her first premise was the overwhelming vast majority of people listening to her don't understand how Social Security actually works, and neither does she. So she brought on an expert in some college professor who was, proficient in all sorts of pension and 401s and Social Security and retirement income. And she was going to do her best to go step by step through how the program works so people would understand that if somehow they are able to pass legislation to get rid of the Social Security income tax, what it would mean. And try as she might, she asked so many direct, simple questions of this expert who could not or would not answer the questions. And it just baffled me. I'm screaming at the radio my answers. This is how it works. This is how it works. I got so frustrated I gave up. I'll if I remember, I'll put the link in down here for you to listen to that if you want. It's a long interview, but it's extremely interesting, but it's frustrating for me. So what I want to do today is just give that basic review, because I know a lot of my viewers, and certainly the overwhelming vast majority of viewers of other Social Security videos on YouTube, do not understand the program. And I want to do something very simple, quick, and easy to explain the predicament of Social Security and to explain quickly how we can maybe solve it, okay? So here in a nutshell, I'm going to talk about 2023 because we have full year statistics for 2023. We're going to go to the magic chalkboard, or whiteboard here. So Social Security retirement, and we're talking about retirement only, okay? There's two separate trust funds, two separate programs for retirement and disability. I'm talking about retirement. That's what I do, retired, okay? So OASI is the program. Don't confuse that, please, with SSI. That's something completely different. It's a needs-based program. It has nothing to do with Social Security, okay? So for 2023, here's what money came in to the Social Security program. You have your payroll taxes, or FICA, where you as an employee pay 6.2% of your wages. Your employer pays 6.2%. If you're self-employed, you pay the whole 12.4%. That alone accounted for $1,054 billion. All right. Now, the Social Security Trust Fund invests all of its money in Treasury securities as required by law. And we've talked about that before. For those investments, they get interest. That interest totaled $63 billion in 2023. Okay. Now, income taxes on Social Security, which is how we originally started talking about this. When you pay income taxes on your Social Security benefits, those of you who do, about 40% of you do, that money goes right back to Social Security, okay? That was $50 billion, all right? So the total money coming in to the Social Security Trust was $1,167 billion, all right? That's almost $100 billion a month. So when people talk about, we give aid, we gave $100 billion of aid to Ukraine. If we just put that in Social Security, it would solve the problem forever. It would pay for, not even a month's worth of benefits, nor can it be done legally. So, that's a whole other issue. But just remember, these are huge numbers, okay? So now let's look at the outflow. And this is strictly just Social Security retirement benefits. The program paid out 1.237 or $1,237 billion in 2023. So what you should first notice here, and I'll try to get out of the way, is here's what came in, here's what went out, here was the shortfall, okay? The program was $70 billion short of having enough money coming in to pay all the benefits. So what happens? This is the trust fund. The trust fund many of you don't believe exists. This is where the money comes from. So, as we talked about before, all excess funds that came into Social Security over the past decades went into a trust fund because it was well more than we needed to pay benefits. So that went into a trust fund. The trust fund by law is required to buy Treasury securities. The government's required to borrow that money, and they pay interest, and they're required to return that money as it's needed for benefits, as has been happening for the last 3 years. In 2023, that amount was $70 billion. So just under 6% of total benefits are paid for out of the trust fund. So if there were no trust fund, or if someone stole that money, or if the government wasn't paying back, we wouldn't be paying full benefits. We'd be paying about 94, 95% of benefits right now. The fact that all you collecting Social Security get 100% of benefits is because of that trust fund. So the trust fund started the year, and remember, this is just the retirement trust fund. There's more in the disability trust fund. Started with $2.7 trillion, and after that 70 billion, it went down to 2.6. So here's the problem. Over time, this difference is going to get larger and larger because of the number of people retiring. You know, we're at about 10,000 people a day hitting retirement age, however you want to define it, whether it's 62 or 67 or somewhere in between or 70. The baby boomers are about 10,000 a day aging into those years, and they're starting to collect benefits. So as time goes on, that number disappears, and that'll be about 9 years. Even though that's $70 billion now, every year it's going to get bigger and bigger until that's gone. And at that time, they cut benefits 21, 23%, depending upon who you want to listen to right now. All right, so how do we solve that? And you know, I saw a document here on the Social Security website. It's called Summary of Provisions That Would Change the Social Security Program. And it's a great document. Again, if I remember, I'll link it, where they go through every idea for saving Social Security money. Some of them cost Social Security money, so let's talk about changes, not saving. And for every one of those, they describe what percentage of the shortfall, and when I say shortfall, they plan out for 75 years, what percentage of the shortfall it would fulfill. And you could look at dozens and dozens of different ideas and how it'll affect the fund. So I got a dog crawling up on my leg here. Okay, maybe we'll talk later. All right, so how do we solve it? All right, so here's some of the issues. Payroll taxes, how do we increase that? Okay, so that money is actually increasing every year. We have more people working now than ever before, paying in more taxes than ever before. So this number is increasing. 2024 it'll be larger. 2025 it'll be larger unless something drastic happens. And you know, you need right now about 3 people paying in for everyone collecting, roughly, if we go by average. It's a rough number. In reality, we have about 2.5, 2.6 people paying in for everyone collecting. So that's why we have a shortfall. We can't increase the number of people working and paying in benefits enough to make up that shortfall. It will make up part of it, but if we get even more and more people working, it will help. Probably never going to get there, though, because we have all those extra people retiring. So even though there's so many coming in, this is not increasing at the same rate that this is. This is increasing faster. So when people tell you, well, you know, it's because of unemployment, it's not true. There's more people working, paying in more. All right, so what do we do? Right now, you know, as I talked about before, there's a 12.4% tax rate we all pay. If we split it with our employer, if we're self-employed, we pay it ourselves. According to that document I just talked about, if we were to increase that tax to 16%, in other words, you would pay 8% of your wages, your employer would pay 8%, that would wipe out 100% of the shortfall, and the program would be good for 100 years based upon their projections. Now, there's a lot of things that can change that, obviously. You know, we go into a recession, you know, what happens? Less people working, less taxes coming in, while you're still paying out those benefits. Now, when they look at those 75-year projections, they include the possibility and, you know, almost certainly, you know, we'll have recessions, and they try to model that in. But that's why they're guesstimates. They're estimates. All right? So the other thing is interest. Right now, $63 billion a year in interest on those investments. Sounds like a lot of money, But as we have a shortfall and that trust fund goes down and keeps falling, this goes down. So we're going to be seeing less and less interest coming in. So now we talk about how this all started. Trump's promise to eliminate Social Security income taxes. All right. And again, he can't do that alone. He needs Congress to help him. $50 billion a year coming in from that right now. So again, if we eliminate that, that just hastens this running out of money. It's not a huge amount in the overall scheme of things, but it might take off months or a year, depending upon how things fall over time. So, that would hurt. All right, so now here's the one everyone says to do. Easy peasy, just make this change and all our problems are solved forever. And they say remove the cap on FICA taxes, Social Security taxes, which are called FICA. And as you know now, right now, you pay taxes on everything you earn up to $168,600. After that, nothing is taxed. So if you make $2 million, you're taxed on the first $168,000, and then nothing after that. So what people are saying is, okay, remove that cap, and for everything you earn, you pay that 6.2%. Your employer pays 6.2, or if you're self-employed, you pay 12.4. All right. So if we did that, and if we did not change the benefits formula, meaning those people would not get any better benefit if they made $5 million than if they made $168,000, which is not fair, but is something we could do, that would solve 73% of the problem. So we're still not there just by doing that as a solution. So now we have to look at the dozens of other possibilities. Can we combine that? Can we do that and combine it with something else? We talk about COLAs. So do we reduce the COLA? If we reduce it to like 1% a year tops, that's really going to hurt people, but that's one of the solutions, one of the things they look at. Do we change the benefit formula so that benefits aren't as high as for people who will be retiring 10 years from now or later? What do we do to get either this number higher or this number lower? No one's in favor of lowering this number, all right? Some of the things they looked at was, all right, if we raise the retirement age to 69 or 70, well, again, depends when you start that. And it does not solve the total problem. So it's a complicated problem with some simple solutions. And if you go through that document, you could actually piece together, well, this would solve 73%, this would solve 20%, this will solve 7%. Let's do these three things. It's a little tricky, but the solutions are there. Now it's all about the will of politicians to attack that. Now, this is something, I haven't dove very deeply into this, but you can see there's some really quick and easy solutions that if Congress gets together, they can come up with a solution and they can get this done, and Social Security is safe for everyone. An increase in benefits, I don't think that's ever going to be in the cards, but let's try to save the benefits we have. So let me know what you think. Let me know what your suggestions are. Let me know what you support and what you don't support. My guess is most you don't want to reduce benefits either, and you increase payroll taxes. Okay, that's people working. That's not me. So it's a tough decision, obviously. So thanks again for watching. Please subscribe if you aren't already, and I thank you for your viewership and comments. We'll see you later. Bye.